and entertainment purposes only.
जब हमारे परिवार के बुजुर्गों की सेहत और देखभाल की बात होती है तो घर पर इन होम केयर वाला ऑप्शन सबसे बढ़िया है। अनलॉक का पेस प्रोग्राम एक ऐसा कन्वीनियंट एंड पर्सनलाइज्ड ऑप्शन है जिसके जरिए हमारे बुजुर्ग घर पर हमारे साथ रहकर यही देखभाल और सेवा का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। अब चाहे वो घर पर रहे या अनलॉक वाले पेस सेंटर में आए, उनको वही डेडिकेटेड एंड प्रोफेशनल केयर मिलेगी। अनलॉक ने बुजुर्गों की सेहत को अपना प्रायोरिटी बना लिया है। और जानने के लिए 1855-308-0195 पे कॉल करें। That's 1855-308-0195।
Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वनकम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदीद,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
मीकंदरिकी वंदनम,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण,
जय जिनेंद्रा।
हमारे इस्लामी भाई बंधुओं को बोलते हैं याली मदद,
मौला अली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजिए मतलब बोलेंगे नीसा बुला बलजान। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा। मैं फालतू बाबा
and of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और ड्राइव टाइम that's gonna make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बन जाए।
All right, Baljan, right now time for us to go and take a quick look at what's happening on the roads with रास्ते का हाल total। आपके लिए हम लोग लेके आते हैं सस्ते Baljan। This is your traffic update।
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
That's right, Baljan. Wherever you are, give us a call here. Pick up the phone and dial the number 408-912-2479 and give us an update of what's happening on the roads where you are located. It could be a parking lot, could be your driveway, could be your shopping center parking lot. I don't know. Some of you actually go shopping, right? Some people do that, right? And right now, Baljan, let me tell you what's happening on the roads. Well, there's a residual delay on the 80 heading towards San Francisco, and that is always known. There's no incidents report over there, but just the traffic volume is high in that region. Speaking of traffic volume being high, 580 eastbound, there's a huge traffic backlog there, and there's a traffic accident on 185 northbound at the Mattox Road in Hayward. It actually seems to be on the exit, so basically the traffic is kind of backed up because of that, so watch out for that. And on 580 westbound, there also is an accident over there, which in fact is being cleared, but there is a traffic hazard reported because the CHP still trying to clear the place for you guys. Watch out for that. Doesn't seem to have a backlog over there, but coming down south, just in San Jose on 880 northbound, there is near the first street, there's an accident. There's a hazard reported there due to a previous accident, so watch out for that. And while we are on 101, there's a traffic collision accident with injuries southbound 101 north of the Burnell Road, so watch out for that and drive carefully, Banjan. And of course, yes, the volume of traffic on the roads are lesser right now because people are still either in the holiday mood already because it's going to be the 31st, right? Oh my God, Father, can you imagine? 10 months are just gone.
I know.
2021, 10 months are gone. 2 more months to go before the year ends, but in 2022, I hope it comes in a nice way for us.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the good positive note, of course, is the fact that the weather is awesome outside. It's not going to be raining. It's going to be sunny all day. It's going to be sunny California for us, but it's going to be sunny all day. And probably we might have some clouds coming in on Saturday, but no rain. So still, we need some more rain, but no rain as of now. So we kind of it's a breather for us. But nevertheless, we can enjoy the wonderful sunny weather here. Not too hot, but perfectly fine because it's chilly. It's like, you know, somewhere in the mid 60s, might go up to around mid 70s. That's about it. But again, it's going to be the sun giving us all the heat we need. So probably have been daring this weather without a jacket actually. So it's pretty much good. Probably might get colder as we go into the next months, but of course, rain is something which we expect. So probably dusting out the umbrellas is very important. Get the umbrellas out. Might come in handy once in a while, or probably might want to give it to somebody your neighbor might require umbrella for, never know. Umbrella can be needed by many people actually. And people forget umbrellas. How do I know people forget umbrellas? Because when in our studio, we actually have lost and found. Actually, we have found people who are lost. Around 6 umbrellas. It's like if anybody wants something for charity, we're ready to donate it for people. So please let us know if you want the umbrellas.
We are a charity ourselves, so.
Yeah, but we can give it to people who need it.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
obviously don't need it because Faltoni gets chauffeur driven everywhere. I'm the chauffeur who drives her around. That's a different issue. But Faltoni, that was the thing. And of course, good news, Faltoni, which I was reading. I'm very happy about the fact that the coronavirus uptick, right? It's dropped. The cases have dropped 20% all over America, so it's pretty much a good thing for us. We're getting kind of getting grip over the virus right now. Is what I feel.
And very soon also coronavirus, the COVID vaccines are going to be made available even to the 5 to 11-year-olds as early as next week in Santa Clara County. So.
That's a good news right there, Faltoni.
Yes.
And of course, Banjan, right now it's time for us to go and take a look at the news. Right, Faltoni, do you have news for us?
Yes, absolutely, Altu Baba. So let's get started. Let's talk about President Joe Biden and, of course, the spending package that he's hoping to sign before he leaves on his trip today. U.S. President Joe Biden said on Thursday he had secured a new $1.75 trillion framework with economic and climate change spending that could pass the Senate and expressed confidence that it would win the backing of all wings of the Democratic Party. Today, I'm pleased to announce that after months of tough and thoughtful negotiations, I think we have, a historic economic framework that will create millions of jobs and allow the United States to compete with China and other countries, Biden said after a last-minute trip to Congress to get the reluctant progressives to support his spending plan. In a meeting with the Democrats in the House of Reps, Biden pleaded for their support, according to a person familiar with the matter. I need you to help me. I need your votes, Biden told them.
I don't know. See, media does this always. They make it seem like as though they're giving him a hard time, but no, they're not. What do you mean? Just because he said, I need you, doesn't mean he's pleading. He said, I need it, I want it. That's it, simple.
No, he said, I need it. I don't think it's a hyperbole to say that the House and the Senate, Democratic majorities, and my presidency will be determined by what happens in the next week. And the progressives are pretty, they're actually right in their viewpoint and their standpoints, because the only person who's holding it up, for those of you who are following these proceedings, Punjan, are Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. And these are the people who are pushing back because I was listening to this report yesterday, Altu Baba. The Senator Joe Manchin gets over $500,000 in dividends every year from the coal mining industry.
He's from the coal. He's a coal guy.
And how does it make sense for somebody who is vested in that to be making decisions about climate change?
Yeah.
So the progressives' agenda, where they're asking for family benefits and also for disability benefits to be increased, or increased to the capacity that was originally intended to be at full 100%, and also to be able to affect climate change and adopt a more climate progressive policy when it comes to climate change is all being shot down at this particular point in time, and that's why the progressives are pushing back. I mean, that's just very simplistically putting it for you. So Alto is kind of right where, when they say that President Joe Biden is pleading with the progressives, it's not like the progressives are asking for anything unreasonable. So, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi hopes to hold a vote on Thursday on a related bipartisan $1 trillion infrastructure bill. She told lawmakers that she wants the vote finished by the time Biden lands in Rome tonight, where he will attend a meeting of G20 leaders, some briefed on the conversations said. This situation sets up a battle of wills in Congress between the moderate Democrats who want the bipartisan infrastructure bill passed as soon as possible and the progressives in the party who said they wouldn't vote for it without a vote on the larger spending bill at the same time. Prosecutors are facing a tough test in the trial of the U.S. Teenage protest shooter Kyle Rittenhouse. Remember that guy who went and shot people and he threw a plastic bag containing socks and he basically shot somebody who threw a deodorant stick and plastic socks before appearing to try and grab his rifle. Another struck the teenager with a skateboard. The third person shot was brandishing a handgun when Rittenhouse fired his final round. Rittenhouse, who's 18, has been charged with killing 2 men and wounding a third during demonstrations in Kenosha, Wisconsin on August 25, 2020. The protests were sparked by the shooting of a black man, Jacob Blake, by a white police officer a few days earlier. He was left paralyzed from the waist down. As Rittenhouse prepares for trial next week, the chaotic circumstances surrounding the shooting present a formidable challenge for prosecutors who will seek to portray this teenager as a vigilante killer, legal experts have said. Rittenhouse, who was 17 at the time of the shootings, has pleaded not guilty and is considering taking the stand to offer a first-hand account of his self-defense claims, 2 people familiar with the matter have said. As President Joe Biden wants to show the UN climate conference in Scotland that the United States is back in the fight against global warming, it is going to seem like his climate credibility is at risk. But continued haggling in Congress over legislation to advance his climate goals threatens to undermine his message of the United States being back in the fight against global warming, especially on the world stage. Biden leaves for Europe on Thursday for a G20 meeting in Rome, followed by a gathering of world leaders in Glasgow, aimed at saving the planet from devastation weakened by rising temperatures. Biden had hoped to showcase legislation designed to fulfill a U.S. pledge to cut greenhouse gas emissions 50 to 52% by 2030 compared to the 2005 levels, seeking to provide an example that would encourage other nations to take bold, quick action to protect the earth. And this obviously would mean hundreds of billions of dollars of investments in clean energy, but some aspects such as a program that would reward electricity companies for investing in renewables and penalize those that did not have been cut from his bill to fund his social and climate change agenda. You remember that story that we talked about where Alec Baldwin fired a gun on the sets of his movie Rust?
Yeah, I spoke about yesterday, right? Yes.
The cinematographer died, Helena Hutchins, and then also the director was critically injured. Well, now they're saying that a .45 caliber Colt revolver used on the set of the film was not thoroughly checked before being given to actor Alec Baldwin, who fired a live lead bullet in an accidental fatal shooting last week in New Mexico, according to officials and a new court filing. New details about the incident emerged on Wednesday during a news conference by Santa Fe County Sheriff Adan Mendonza and District Attorney Mary Kamak Altuis, and in an affidavit filed by the Sheriff's Department. Mendonza told reporters that there was a complacent attitude towards safety on the set before last Thursday's shooting that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins during a rehearsal. Hannah Gutierrez, the crew member in charge of weapons on the set, told investigators that she had checked the guns but had found no hot rounds, apparently meaning live ammunition, before the shooting, according to the affidavit. In news with regard to the COVID-19 vaccine doses, Pfizer and BioNTech SE said on Thursday that they expect to deliver 50 million more doses of their COVID-19 vaccine to the US government by April end as the country prepares to vaccinate children. The move comes after a panel of outside advisors to the US FDA voted on Tuesday to recommend its authorization for vaccine in children aged 5 to 11, and the agency's decision on the vaccine for the age group has been awaited. If authorized and subsequently recommended by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention advisory panel, the company said that they expect to then begin shipping the vaccine immediately in 10 microgram pediatric doses as directed by the U.S. government. In local news, Manajan, remember we recently talked about an In-N-Out burger the joint that flouted the rules of COVID-19
San Francisco.
and how they received a temporary suspension. Well, Contra Costa County health officials on Tuesday have now shut down an In-N-Out Burger restaurant in Pleasant Hill for violating the county's vaccine mandate on indoor dining, according to a county statement. Contra Costa Environmental Health suspended the commercial food permit of In-N-Out Burger on 570 Contra Costa Boulevard for creating a public health hazard by repeatedly violating a county health order intended to reduce the risk of COVID-19 transmission. The statement said even after they received repeated notices of violation and had been fined, they continuously served food indoors without verifying vaccination status or a negative result, the county said. Governor Gavin Newsom weighed in on Wednesday but sat squarely on the fence in the debate. But of course, this In-N-Out Burger has been shut down now. Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office now investigating the death of a woman who was found unconscious in the area of Geraldine Drive at Dale Drive in unincorporated San Jose. The deputies responded to the scene at 10:44 a.m. and found the woman. The San Jose Fire Department and paramedics provided medical attention to the woman, who was then taken to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead. The identity of the victim is going to be released by the coroner's office after they confirm the victim's identity and notify next of kin. This is currently an active investigation. Speaking of Santa Clara County, Banjan, and law enforcement, in San Francisco now, San Francisco Supervisor Catherine Stefani is trying to force District Attorney Chesa Boudin to release details about how his office prosecutes some of the city's most violent offenders. Stefani claims Boudin is putting lives in danger by allowing repeat offenders to go free. If he thinks the lack of prosecution is the answer, I'd like to know why, she said. I think it's incompetence. The fact that these cases are being brought to him and not charged and no interventions are made. Apparently, he's letting domestic violence offenders go free. And he's not prosecuting this because he wants to save money. So there is a huge, I don't know how many of you are following that story, but a lot of people from the district attorney's office have been walking out and resigning based on and calling for him to be recalled, Chesa Boudin to be recalled. And in news from Santa Clara County, I mentioned before, children 5 to 11 may be vaccinated for COVID-19 starting as early as next week in Santa Clara County, is what the Public Health Department officials are saying. And in San Jose, a police officer is accused of punching a woman in the face during a road rage incident in July when he was off duty, the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office has announced on Wednesday. George Brown, who is 37, is facing charges of felony assault under the color of authority, misdemeanor battery, and misdemeanor child endangerment. The District Attorney's Office said he could face jail time if he's convicted. It is disappointing that an officer on or off duty would act in such a reckless and violent way, District Attorney Jeff Rosen said in a statement. A higher standard of behavior is not a suggestion or a request, it is built into the badge, is what he claimed. And with regard to the atmospheric rivers, right, Altu Baba?
Yeah.
Well, they're saying there's currently the climate is in crisis across the earth because there's usually about 11 atmospheric rivers at any given point of time on Earth, it seems. NASA scientists project that in the future, atmospheric rivers are soon going to start becoming less and less common. But the ones that do will form longer and wider and bring heavier rain. This could mean that we could have large swings of extreme drought to extreme flooding, and we need to be prepared for it all, is what they're saying. Do you want to go into Organica Kira or should we go into the world?
We can actually go into the world directly, Fatoni. How about that? Banajan, we're going to go to the world news right now because I know you guys are waiting to know, because very rarely we get to actually talk to Falturani and she shares what's on her news desk. So, Falturani.
Very rarely. We do this every morning. What are you talking about?
That's what you feel, Falturani, but it's like, Bandhus get to see only once a day in the morning with this stuff, So I'm sure they are wanting to know more about what's happening there. So let's go into the world news, Falturani. Let's go.
All right. The Sudanese army faces widening opposition to this week's coup, with the UN Security Council on Thursday urging the restoration of the civilian-led transitional government, and activists in Sudan mobilizing for protests this weekend. The takeover, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan on Monday against a civilian government, has brought thousands of people onto the streets to reject a return of military rule and demand a transition towards civilian rule be put back on track. The ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, said on Thursday that it has agreed with China to upgrade the relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership a day after reaching a similar deal with Australia. Australia's clinching of the enhanced partnership was a symbolic win for Canberra in beating China to the first such deal with the fast-growing Southeast Asia region, which has become a strategic battleground between Beijing and Washington. Hailing the agreement at a news conference, Brunei Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah, chair of the ASEAN, was also asked about Myanmar's future attendance after its junta chief Min Aung Hlaing, who led in a coup in February, was excluded from the ASEAN summits this week. And actually, speaking of that, the Myanmar junta, right? They have pledged allegiance to China. They're saying that they are part of the Chinese family, it seems.
Because China can provide protection for them, right?
Oh my God! It was just I couldn't believe that they were actually.
See, my enemy's enemy is my friend, is what they say, right? That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't know what's going to happen to them because the Rohingya Muslims know what happened, right?
Yeah. What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing happened.
China got away with it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. No, the China, that is not, that's the Uyghur Muslims.
Uyghur Muslims, yes, not Rohingya. Uyghur Muslims, yes.
Yeah. Well, in Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan's drug case, live updates, Bandujan, his son has been granted bail.
Finally.
And it has also been granted to Arbaz Merchant and Munmun Dhamecha, arrested by the NCB in the drugs on cruise case. Apparently, Shah Rukh Khan, they're saying, was in tears when he received the news with regard to Aryan Khan's bail plea being accepted. The Bombay High Court on Thursday granted bail to these three people who were arrested in the case of the seizure of banned drugs aboard a cruise ship off the Mumbai coast. The High Court will pass a detailed order assigning reasons tomorrow. This would mean that Aryan Khan, Arbaz Merchant and Manman Dhamecha will spend at least another night in jail. The NCB opposed Aryan Khan's bail application and said that he can further influence the process of investigation, and agency needed more time to unearth the international cruise ship drug racket. Arguing against the bail, the NCB said that Aryan was a regular consumer of drugs and was also in touch with peddlers. Here's what the NCB said in court. Aryan Khan was not a first-time consumer of drugs. Our record shows that Aryan Khan has been procuring drugs in bulk and commercial quantities. These are hard drugs. He has been in contact with drug peddlers.
I like the way the lawyer put the case, saying that the WhatsApp thing, what do they sent, right? He said there's no relevance to it because it was actually 2018.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The message for them. I think you got to if you have the money, you can get away with anything in India. That's the thing. That's a message for you guys. If you have the money, you can hire a doctor, hire a wonderful lawyer who can argue with the court, and the court will shiver for them. You know?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
But Aryan Khan's lawyer, Mukul Rohatgi, yeah, you're right. He said that.
You didn't trust me before.
No.
It's okay, it's fine.
No, he didn't say.
It's okay.
Well, but Jan, just for your reference, this was what he argued in court. Aryan and Arbaz were together. The most important thing is that it has been put against us is the commercial quantity being recovered from others. While the Additional Solicitor General refers to Section 37 by referring to commercial quantities being recovered, but Section 27A is not invoked against them, is what he's saying. And more on all these stories we will find out as they unfold right here on Good Morning Bay.
Yeah, it's very easy, Falcon. 100 grams could be reduced to 10 grams. Sometimes even 1 gram, but just removing the zero. By adding a few zeros to somebody else, But the guy, the way they're going behind that police officer though. Any news on that? Wankade?
The Wankhede. Oh yeah, there is some relief for that man apparently.
Because he got the bail now, no? So everything is clear. They'll ask him to back off.
Who? The Wankhede guy?
Yeah, he'll be asked to back off.
Samir Wankhede is, they're saying that he's going to get a 3-day notice before arrest. The Bombay High Court on Thursday disposed of NCB Zonal Director Samir Wankhede's petition seeking interim protection from arrest and said that 3 days notice will be given to him by Mumbai Police. He filed a petition in Bombay High Court seeking relief against the probe and claimed that he was being personally attacked by the Maharashtra government.
Yes. That is true.
How do you know? You're not there, Altu Baba. You don't know the details.
But they're personally attacking him, right?
But that's the media for you, Banjan.
They're going after him personally, Faltoni. Look at the facts.
What do you mean? There's no facts there.
He's singled out. They're not going after the department. They're going after the individual more than department. They're doing this personal character assassination. That's what politics, Faltoni. That's politics.
But they found proof that he has actually asked for a bribe, right?
There's proof?
That's what they say.
The person actually came out and said that has disappeared right now. He's no longer to be seen or questioned. You know the guy's videos circling around?
Well, Banjan, a movie story in the making, right?
Mumbai Police were not able to find him to interview the guy who actually said that, this is done. There was no written proof that he asked for bribe. It's okay. But it's all happens. We actually have a lot of stuff to go on as natak for our lives. But anyways, end of the day, Aryan Khan, probably he went through jail. Hopefully he'll change. And there will be more stricter rules and regulations at the Mannat.
And of course, Banjan, whatever happens there, we will bring that to you right here on Good Morning Bay. Don't forget to tune in. And if you are catching up just now on our radio show or on our video show, you can go back and watch the entire episode on Radio Day Hotties, which is our YouTube channel. You can watch it on facebook.com/Radio Day Hotties. And you could also catch a repeat broadcast of this on Radio Day Hotties app in just a little bit. That's all we have time for. We'll see you tonight live at 5. Have a terrific Thursday.
बिगड़े हुए इंसान थे शैतान की संतान थे लेकिन ब्रदर जो भी कहो वो यार ही तो जान थे कॉलेज की कुड़ी से करने आंखें चार के दिल थे आए जिंदगी में पहले पहले प्यार के दिल थे वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे
Hi guys, this is Shraddha and you're listening to Radio D Hot, where the entertainment gets hotter.